Oftentimes, there are many reasons why marriages and relationships go down the hill. Finances, domestic abuse, aging, some factors within your control, and some factors outside your control that you are left to submit to, and the one within your control that you can do something about. And those outside your control that you can do something about. And what about those that you cannot do anything about? What if I told you that your psyche could be in control of you? Your psyche could be programming you as part of what has been built in nature, as part of the inbuilt characteristics of our natural being. Oh, my English is getting too much. My name is Ash. Welcome to Love, Life, Sex and Romance. And I'll be right back so that we can dive into this in depth. Now you're welcome. The question we really want to talk about is something I've always harped on in previous episodes, in previous editions. But today we're going to go in depth because there are so many issues in life that mankind, by virtue of the way he was created, tend to gloss over. But at the same time, the same mankind can go deep into matters of current affairs, of yesteryears, or futuristic issues, so as to have a 360 overview of the issue. And our question today is, why do people cheat? Because everybody does it. It's a nagging issue, and I'm not here to talk about facts and figures or statistics because, well, you could say it's stereotypical because we believe everybody is into it. If a man is into it, he's certainly doing it with a woman. So we can't really just accuse the man without accusing the woman, or without invariably dragging the woman along. So why do people do this? I mean, there are varying factors and reasons. I'm not here to justify them. And be warned, I am not a certified psychologist, but I'm here to do a psychoanalysis. I mean, I'm a human being like you. Ever since I've been on this earth that I gained cognitive consciousness, or let me call it consciousness. I've been conscious of my being, and I have the retention to understand or to retain what I've seen, and I've been studying my kind from a logical standpoint. And my analysis stems from my personal experiences, the experiences of other people put together. And, you know, I process them, just not that I take it in and put it out, hook, line, and sinker. I process them, and I discover that there are varying reasons why there will be cracks in relationships and marriages. And, you know, if there's no crack on the wall, the lizard will not enter. It's a Yoruba proverb, but I'm sure other tribes and cultures and ethnicity will have their own proverb that is similar to that. There are times finances could lead to a breakup in marriage. There are times, like I said, spiritual differences. And there are times domestic violence. And then the one that comes with nature, which is aging. And if you study the woman's body and the man's body, you see that the woman's body ages quicker, while the man, and maybe it is due to childbirth or the fact that they get prettier early, and so because they tend to do that early, it withers early as well, and they approach the physical features ages faster than the man, even for some of the women that do not experience childbirth. But we can't just lay a total blanket on this issue. But just follow my line of thought. After all this that I've enumerated, I mean, these are things you could really work on, you know, do something about. Finances, you could do something and improve your finances. If it is domestic abuse, if you or the man abusing your wife or your wife abusing you, you guys could just, I mean, anybody, I mean, whoever is guilty of this accusation could probably work on him or herself and do not abuse anymore. And yeah, aging. Well, we have scientific processes or creams and stuff like that to slow down aging so that, you know, you can. But the one I want to talk about, I just want to go in deep, but I don't want to take your time. I'm going to summarize, but I want to be sure that you understand what I want to talk about. It's your psyche. I mean, let's take a trip down into your psyche. That is the psychological part of your being. How was it constructed? How did nature do it? Now, I'm a man. I'm certainly going to talk more from that standpoint, but I'm sure we're both victims and culprits of this situation. I mean, men cheat, women cheat. So I'm talking to both genders, but I'm going to talk from that standpoint, from a male standpoint. In the psyche of a man, this situation at hand affect everything he does. A man longs for what he does not have. And when he gets it, the thirst quenches. And you know the funny thing about it? He might be longing for something that is not as good as what he has. I'm not making excuses for the man. I'm trying to tell you that, you see, there are times people behave the way they behave. A fuller understanding of why they do what they do, after you tick out possibilities of why they've done what they've done, and you're left with nothing. You're absolutely not left with nothing. You're left with this. If a man is rich, if a man is not abusing his wife, if a man is not aging, or vice versa, and still somebody goes ahead to cheat, I'm talking to you now. Check it. If all those factors are fine and dandy, the most probable reason, because it's not exhaustible. All of the other factors that could lead into divorce and marriage crashing, I've not said all of them, but assuming I've said all of them, and you cross all of them and everything was fine, and you wonder, why did he still cheat on me? A man would always long for what he does not have. The moment he has it, the longing for that thing dies. It's a natural, psychological, inbuilt behavior of mankind. And that's why you will see that we have insatiable wants, insatiable needs. It affects you in everyday life. You see, why we're here on Love, Life, and Sex Romance is to talk about how it is as against how it should be. Because I know a lot of people are having that, what will I call it? A lot of people are having that crisis between how it is and how it should be. You were brought up and you were told how it should be, but the reality is you're faced with how it is. Now, to solve it and to move forward, you need to analyze why it is the way it is. So why will a man do that? There is some society where we agree that do not cheat. And there is some society that agrees that, okay, you could have multiple wives. So, you have your ticket not to really cheat. Just bring her home if you want to bring her home. The society allows you 2, 3, as long as you can take care of them, it allows you. But when we say we should not do that, then the issue arises. We talk about, why did you do it? Now, I'm telling you, but I'm not saying I have a solution to, or I'm saying that the most we can do about it is to acknowledge the fact that it's inbuilt in mankind, and then watch out for it. Because there is also that danger that your mind, a part of your mind, could have programmed the other part of your mind, especially the one we accuse or the one we say has this tendency, inbuilt tendency, and it cuts across everything we do. I know you can relate with that. You will see that mankind has insatiable wants and needs, especially in your country where you find greedy politicians. Do they stop looting your treasury? No. And they have much more than they need. And that is exactly how mankind is wired. So if you know that you've spotted a problem, you can as well do something about it, because you will always long for something you don't have. And when you have it, the quest is done. You really want to move on. But I think you shouldn't do that to your partner. It should be an exception. Don't you agree? You could do that to every other thing. Accomplishment, to be successful, you really need to want more. But it's written in fine print, even if you can't see it, that your partner is gonna age, and that this part of your mentality is going to kick in eventually. You want your partner who's more like the most handsome guy in the neighborhood or the most beautiful girl around, but the moment you have her, you start looking for something even beneath her or beneath him. People will begin to wonder, what did you see in the other person? Aren't you satisfied with this? It's got value in and out. I have to stress that he or she's got value in and out. But because of that inherent quality of mankind, here we find ourselves all the time. But if you know it exists in you and you admit it exists in you, you can as well do something about it. My name is Ash. This is Love, Life, Sex, and Romance. If you like this video, please click on the like button. And if you've not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification button as well. And please do share to your loved ones. Thank you, and see you the next episode.